I kicked my husband's side piece and their baby out of my house after she tried to move in while he was on vacation. My husband Marcus and I have been together for 10 years. We're common law married, which basically means we live like a married couple but never did the legal paperwork. I make furniture for rich people and companies, custom stuff that sells for crazy prices. I bring in about €1,000,000 a year. Marcus is a high school teacher making around 60,000. I pay for everything, the house, the cars, all of it. But I never cared because we were happy, or so I thought. Marcus told me last month he was going to Dubai for 2 weeks to visit his college buddy. I thought it was weird timing but didn't think much of it. He left on a Thursday and everything seemed normal. Then Sunday morning, someone started pounding on my front door. I opened it to find this young woman, maybe 25, standing there with a baby in a designer stroller. She had Louis Vuitton bags and was wearing this Van Cleef bracelet that costs like $5,000. She looked at me and goes, "You must be the ex-wife. Marcus said you'd probably still be here. I'm his girlfriend and this is our son. My apartment lease just ended, so I'm moving in. You should probably get a hotel since you can afford it." I literally stood there with my mouth open. "Excuse me, what?" She pushed past me into my house with the stroller. "Look, I know this is awkward, but Marcus told me you guys are getting divorced and he owns half this place. So technically, it's his house too, and I have every right to be here." I followed her into the living room where she was already unpacking baby clothes onto my couch. "Marcus doesn't own anything. We're not legally married. This is my house. Everything is mine." Her face went completely white. "What do you mean not legally married? He said you were married for 10 years and he owned half your furniture company." That's when I realized Marcus had been lying to this girl the entire time. He told her we were legally married so she'd think he was rich. She thought she was dating some millionaire furniture company owner, not a teacher who makes $60,000 a year. I told her she needed to leave immediately. She refused and said she had nowhere to go, that Marcus had been giving her his entire salary and now it was gone. I locked myself in my greenhouse and called the police. When they showed up, she was still unpacking the baby's stuff like she actually lived there. They asked her to leave and she started crying about being homeless with a baby. But I noticed she had 3 designer bags, expensive jewelry, and a stroller that costs more than most people's rent. The police escorted her out and I called Marcus immediately. He didn't answer. I called 15 times before he finally picked up. When I told him what happened, he tried to act shocked, but I could tell he knew exactly what was going on. Turns out he'd been seeing this girl for over a year. He told her I was his wife and that we were getting divorced, that he'd give her half of everything. He'd been spending his entire teacher salary on her, buying her designer stuff to keep up the lie that he was rich. His mom called me the next day screaming about how I kicked her only grandson out onto the street. She said I was using my money to control everyone and that I should have let them stay since they had nowhere to go. I told her that her son lied to a woman for over a year, got her pregnant under false pretenses, and then abandoned both of us to go on vacation in Dubai. And somehow I'm the bad guy for not letting his mistress live in my house. Marcus came back from Dubai 3 days later. I had already changed all the locks. He showed up with his suitcase, looking confused about why his key didn't work. I opened the door and handed him a box with all his stuff in it. He's currently staying with his mom. The side piece keeps texting me asking for money since Marcus apparently can't afford to help her anymore now that I kicked him out.